What's up, everybody? This is Taye Del Val, your Grown Geek Girl, and I am here with my highly anticipated review of Batman vs. Superman. I know this movie has been raked across the coals by critics. I know there are fans who are disappointed in this film, but let me tell you something. Your girl is all the way here for it. I enjoyed this film. I actually want to go see it again in the theaters. I'm chomping at the bit. I want to see the director's cut on the DVD, like right now, but I know we have to wait a few months. I really had fun watching this film. Is it a perfect film? Not by any means. This movie does have flaws, and I will discuss them. But overall, I was left that theater a very satisfied geek girl. I really, really did. So, let me talk about what I enjoyed the most, both in performance and plot. One thing though, and I already had to shut somebody down today, and I've said it before, I am not in any way biased because of my love and adoration for Henry Cavill. I am actually going to start with my review of the performances of the Trinity, and I'm saving Henry for last. Here we go. First off, I owe the most humblest of apologies to Miss Gal Gadot. Okay? I was a hater. I will admit that. I was a hater. The moment she was cast, I was like, oh, hell no. With all the body diversity and body acceptance that we got going on these days, they still went with the stereotypical, this is what white males between the ages of 18 and 45 want to see. This is the body type we're going with. No, let's not get someone who looks like an Amazon, because that demographic does not want to see a woman with muscles. Lord, no. Well, she's not built like an Amazon. Everything should be thicker and she should be cut. And what the hell is all of this? Do you know what stopped my Gal Gadot hate? Even before I saw the film. I read an interview that Zack Snyder did. And he talked about why he chose Gal. And he said that out of all of the actresses that they screen tested against Ben Affleck, with the scene that's in the movie, and there's a little bit of it that's in the trailer, Bruce Wayne is supposed to be intimidating Diana. And Zack said out of all of the actresses that they screen tested, she was the only one that held her own against Ben. So that made me take a step back and go, oh, okay. I'll wait. I'll wait till I see the film and see what she brings. I loved her as Wonder Woman. I obviously wanted more. I think somebody actually counted she's in the movie for a full 7 minutes, but those 7 minutes are delicious. I loved what she brought to the character. I loved her little nuances. Even her slight, I don't want to give anything away, but I was blown away. I loved her. So to Miss Gal Gadot, I apologize. I will be the first one to buy advance tickets for the Wonder Woman solo film that's coming out summer 2017. A little side note, if she is not in the first movie, I'm going to be on a campaign to get cast as Nubia or Philippus in the sequel, if the Wonder Woman standalone film is popular enough to warrant a sequel. I'm just saying. I might actually do a video discussing Nubia. If you don't know who she is, Google her children. Learn. But back to movie. Ben Affleck as Batman, Bruce Wayne. Listen, anytime somebody shot down Ben Affleck as Batman when his casting was announced, I hit them with everything I had. Hashtag I believe in Ben was all over my social media because I did. Yes, he had Daredevil and I didn't even blame him for that. I was like, he was a younger actor. He has directed. He has won an award. He's won an Academy Award for his directing. So I'm like, he has the eye of a director. So that gives him a little extra edge to know how to execute a director's vision. He has grown as an actor. I think every performance after his Geely incident, every performance once he began his comeback, was the praise that those performances were warranted, is what I'm trying to say. And he gave me every bit of everlasting life as Bruce Wayne and Batman. I loved the angle they took with him. I loved the older, more gristled, the harder Batman, the war weary Batman. I loved it. And he gave it to me. I was yes. Yes, Ben, I tip my hat to you. And now we come to Henry. I enjoyed watching Henry. Not just because he's pretty, not because of the love I have for him. I enjoy watching him as Superman. See my last video on my YouTube channel in defense of my Man of Steel. I enjoy Henry as Superman. I think he makes a fantastic Superman. What they did with him in this movie, and let me say this before I go into further depth with my thoughts on the Superman in this movie. If you walked into this film, if you bought your popcorn and your large soda and you sat down, put your butt in the seat, and the credits started to roll, and you thought that you were going to get any kind of Man of Steel sequel, you were going to be disappointed. Okay? I don't know if the original plan for this film was to be Man of Steel 2, and then not Disney, sorry. Then, Warner Brothers and DC went, oh look, Marvel and the Avengers, they're really popular. We need to catch up. All right, so let's scrap all these plans. No, let's use these things from the original plan, but add all of these other elements. and we're going to do this. The purpose of this movie is to lay the foundation and the groundwork for Justice League. It's in the title, Dawn of Justice. Okay? This movie exists solely to set up Justice League. So again, if you went into this thinking it was going to be any kind of Man of Steel sequel, you're mistaken. And that's not exactly a bad thing. However, I wish that they had done more with Superman in this film. I don't think they gave enough for his character to be fully fleshed out. And yes, in some ways, is a continuation. And if you all of us watch the trailers, you can see where they have Bruce Wayne reacting to the damage being done to Metropolis because of the Superman and Zod fight. So that's the bridge that brings Man of Steel into Batman v Superman. But that's really where it stops. That's really the only connection that the two films have. Back to Henry's performance. Did I feel it was a little one note? I'm going to be honest, yes. But it is not his fault. Actors are limited to what they can do because they are beholden to the script that they are given, and they are there to execute the vision of the director. I liked what they did. I liked that they gave him this angle to come from where he was still trying to figure out who he was as Kal-El Clark Kent Superman. He's still trying to figure out that balance. He's still trying to figure out how to be a hero. He's still on this journey of who am I? What am I here to do? What is my purpose in this world? I liked the struggle of I'm trying so hard. I feel as though I'm doing the right thing, but it seems to not be enough. I'm here for for these people. I'm here for the human race. I'm here to protect them. And yet there are people who are afraid and who feel threatened by me because of what I am. I liked that angle. Did he have the same pained expression on his face in a lot of scenes? Yes. I understood where those looks came from, but it was a little, I want more. I want to see your range. However, with what this movie wanted to do and be, there was not time for him to have a real character arc. Okay? I would have loved a true Man of Steel 2. I would have loved it. I would have loved to see him with this angle. I would have loved to see him with this confusion and who am I and what am I? Am I doing the right thing because it is the right thing to do? Or am I doing these things because someone told me it was the right thing to do? Am I just a product of someone else's vision? I would have loved to have seen that journey and how it was resolved in a fully Man of Steel sequel. If we had time, I think we could have gotten it after Batman versus Superman. But as it is the end of March and they go into production of Justice League, I think April 11th. Yeah, we're not going to get a Man of Steel 2. So I'm curious to see, are they going to still have him struggling with trying to become Superman, or is he going to be the fully fleshed, I am here, this is who I am, this is what I do? Is he going to be the strong and assured Superman? I don't know. And that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing in Justice League. I liked that we finally got to see him as Clark Kent. And I know there are going to be haters out there who are going to be like, I don't like this. This is not the way Christopher Reeves did it. No disrespect to Christopher Reeves. I love him. And I did, watching the original movies, I do like the contrast of the timid, cowardly, unsure of himself Clark Kent, as opposed to the strong hero, big blue Boy Scout that is Superman in those films and in the comics. Again, I don't think they had time to really go into that. And I think I read an interview where Henry was like, this is not what this Clark Kent is. And I like what they did where there was a nice analogy and parallel being drawn between what's going on in the news in real life and what goes on at the Daily Planet. Not going to give anything away. Go see the film. But I did enjoy Henry's performance. I wish there was more, but this was not his film. This was not a Man of Steel sequel. If they ever do give him another solo Superman film, I would be very interested to see what they would allow him to do, what they would write for him to do, what they would make of the character. It all remains to be seen. Maybe in the director's cut, we'll get to see more. Maybe some plot holes will be filled in. Maybe some questions will be answered. Maybe some relationships will be deepened. Who knows? We'll have to wait for the DVD. What else? So that's really all I have to say about Henry. Lois Lane, the fabulous Amy Adams. Listen, I love me some Amy Adams. She is my biggest girl crush. I have never really been a fan of her as Lois Lane. I don't know if they took another avenue with this character, because in Man of Steel, she just kind of seemed like she was there. They did give her more to do in this film, but I'm still waiting to see the badass, I'm gonna shut you down, I don't care, I'm gonna do what I need to do to get my story, Lois Lane. You see flashes of it in this film. You see flashes of it. I wanted to see more. It could have, like I said, it could have just been a product of we don't have time to really give her a true character arc. So I'm not gonna hold Amy too hard to that. Again, even though she's not my favorite portrayal of Lois Lane. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I know there were a lot of people who were like, he's too over the top. I don't like this. This is not my Lex Luthor. I was so entertained by him. I loved it. I love the evil genius that is wearing this mask of sanity, who is trying desperately to hold it together, but you can see the cracks in the facade. And you can tell that he's about to lose his mind and become the megalomaniac that we all know and love. I love this take on him. I love seeing him at the very beginning or the earlier stages of who we all know he is. I was here for it. I loved it. He made me laugh. He creeps me out a little bit. I loved it. I tip my glasses to you, Jessica Eisenberg. Let me tell you the two brightest spots in this film for me: Jeremy Irons and Lawrence Fishburne. Oh my God, I loved them. Even though they didn't get a ton of screen time, they were the things I most enjoyed about this film. Lawrence Fishburne is Perry White. He gives some of the best comedic lines in this film, and I love the snark, the wit. I love the hard ass that he has to be. And I love Lawrence Fishburne. I mean, let's be real. But I love him. I love what they gave him to do. I love what he made the role. I very much enjoyed him in this film. And Jeremy Irons was one of the main reasons I wanted to see this film. His version of Alfred, the more hands-on Alfred, I was all the way here for. I love the banter back and forth between him and Bruce, and where you can see that they've spent their entire lives together, growing older together, and you can see the relationship, and it's palpable, and and his snark and wit is just delicious. So I very, very much enjoyed those two. I will agree with the critics where, yes, it does feel very disjointed and jumbled in the beginning. It takes a long time for the movie to find its footing, but once it does, you're on a great ride. I will agree that it takes a long time to get to the battle that we're all waiting for between Batman and Superman. And even when it starts, you're like, really? That's what they're fighting for? Okay. You may accept it or you might not. You may just go, really? But I can see why you would have that reaction. Because again, it's something I really don't feel is fully explained. Again, maybe it'll be explained better on the extended cut on the DVD. Wait and see. Maybe I'll do another review after the DVD is released and we see the extended cut. Not giving anything away, this review is spoiler free. When the end of the battle comes, it's something that made me go, it satisfied me. I know there are people who are going to be like, really? That's why they stopped fighting? Why? But for me, it was satisfying. I got it. I thought it was beautiful and poetic, to be honest. It was actually a moment where me and some of the most hardcore comic book fans that I know, these people that I went to see the movie went with, and we all went, huh, I totally didn't realize that. Oh God. It was one of those moments and I loved it. I really did. But I can understand where people would be like, but for real though, to each their own. Do I feel that they gave a lot away in the trailers? I'll admit, yeah. But I don't feel that any major tea was spilled. I don't feel that you saw the entire movie just watching the trailers. It was enjoyable. It really was. Do I get the sense that they tried to cram too much in this movie? I do feel that they tried to throw all of these things at us and it did hurt the film. I do feel that. All of these different elements and trying to make it all flow didn't really, it it doesn't really flow the way I think it could have. Again, we have to wait for the DVD to see if there are improvements made, the things that they had to cut out for time and pacing. Maybe it would improve upon everything. But we shall see. But I do feel that the movie was hurt by them trying to throw all of these things in. There were things that could have been cut out, things that could have been shorter, things that could have been better explained. But overall, I do think it's worthy of the praise that it receives. Some of the harsher criticisms I believe are unfounded. I'm not here to say, oh, the critics have an agenda. No, I agree with some of their criticisms. But as the woman that I am, as the fan that I am, as the grown geek girl that I am, I left that theater very satisfied. I want everyone to see it for themselves and have their own opinion of it. And those are really all of my thoughts. I'm planning on repeat viewings, and I cannot wait for the DVD. Maybe I will. Maybe I will make another video once the DVD is released and it's in my possession and I watch it. And then maybe we'll see if anything has been improved upon, and maybe if some thoughts have changed. I'm willing to wait for that. But I'm satisfied. If you saw it and you liked it, share my excitement. If you saw it and you were underwhelmed, I understand. If you saw it and you're like, this is one of the worst movies ever made, not here for it. Okay? Because I have definitely seen worse films. Have I seen better? Yes. But I have definitely seen much worse. And I enjoyed this film. And hell, I'm going to see it again. Maybe even a third time. I really feel that it is worth my money. Okay? I will talk to you all later. Grown Geek Girl, out.